What is going on, everyone? Thank you for coming back. And okay, pause.
Mhm.
Wasn't ready for that. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for showing up. I am hosted again with fuck.
It's okay. Take your time, dude. Take your
I'm overthinking it. You know.
Yeah, yeah. What's up, man? We're back here. We're here for episode 3.
All right.
I know it's only been a minute.
Yeah.
Just ask
I'm like
Chris.
trying to like jump into it. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
take a nice,
It's only been a
nice deep
minute.
breath.
Where's the baby carrot? Oh,
Baby
man.
carrot better show up soon. All right. So we're at.
He's like, what's baby carrot doing?
Yeah.
All right.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for showing up. Today, we are going to review episode 3 of Investigation Alien. So, this episode I felt was the best out of the 3 I've watched so far. It takes place in Mexico. I don't remember exactly what city. Do you remember off the top of your head, Steezo?
No, it's off of the Yucatan Peninsula. I know that. It's on the Gulf of
Tampico,
Mexico side. What is it?
Tampico,
Yep.
Mexico.
Yep. It's on the Gulf of Mexico side.
So I felt all in all, production wise, kind of script, right? Because it's a television series, so they're scripting it. I felt like this was the best produced one so far. And the majority of the episode follows George Knapp and a veteran, I believe, with the US Navy, if I'm remembering correctly. And they talk about USOs in this one, which I think is really, really interesting, which is unidentified submersible objects. And they there was a story in this town of Tampico, or not story, but a phenomenon where like they said you could see hundreds of these drone looking or spherical UFOs rising from the ocean out above and then zipping off. And you know I felt like this episode was pretty damn compelling. What were your kind of general thoughts, Stezo?
Yeah, so Mexico itself is no stranger to UAP or UFO phenomena. Number one, they every year they see a lot of and it's always mass sightings too. A lot of like lights and seen by a lot of people. But what I liked about this episode was that usually people see stuff and there's that they kind of have that ooh ah or what is that. These people have kind of turned it because it's been going on in that area for such a long time. They almost have taken like gotten used to it, and they look at it now. They now say those lights they believe them have protected
Yo,
very.
Stezo. Chris is here. Let's just restart it again.
Okay, cool.
Sorry,
Yeah,
dude.
it's all good, dude.
And you
I was
froze.
like, dude, what's going on? Did I black out?
Yeah, good. What's up, Chris?
What up?
You gave her the baby carrot or
Baby
what?
carrot.
You there, bro? I don't hear you.
He's tucking it back in.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What the fuck, man? I didn't have my shit hooked up.
The baby carrot knocked it out.
Fucking whoopsies.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh man.
Yeah, we had just started it, so I figured let's just fucking
We started over.
retake it. Should we just jump straight into it? Do you want to kind of go over it a little bit before we start?
Yeah, dude, I'm way more. I just watched episode 3, so
okay, yeah, that's what
perfect.
it is.
I came in. Do you guys did 2 already?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm good. I'm good for 3. Just go over whatever you want to talk about. That's fine.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna do another intro in a second here. 59.
Yeah, just restart it and we'll go over.
What do you want to cover?
We're just gonna go over the kind of our thoughts on it.
Okay.
You might actually help us with kind of the more base, just step by step of what happened in the episode. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little quick intro. I'm gonna just do this for my own visual sake. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for stopping by. Tonight we're doing our review on Investigation Alien Episode 3. I felt like this was the best episode so far. If you guys watched the first two, I haven't been the biggest fan. I felt like this one actually had some new information. I felt like they did a good job with the production, and all around, I felt like I really enjoyed it. There are a few points that I wasn't really buying, but I thought I think the whole topic of USOs and unidentified submersible objects are extremely fascinating, and I like that they put a focus on it. So let's just kind of go around the horn. Steezo, why don't you kind of kick us off about how you felt about it, and then Chris, just jump in right after him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, I think what I liked about this episode was the fact that it really gets into. We've seen a lot on UFOs and UAPs, the aerial aspects, but the USO phenomenon is new to a lot of people. I liked about this one was that they went to an area that has historically been a hotspot for UAPs and USOs. And down in Mexico, I think it's what, Campeche, is that what it is?
Tampico.
Tampico, yes, in the Gulf of Mexico region. And what I liked about it was the fact that, usually when people see UFOs, they kind of get scared or paranoid. The locals have kind of embraced this phenomenon and have kind of put it as a, kind of like they feel like the aliens or the people behind these lights are looking out for them because they have actually stopped hurricanes and have made either push them north or to the south. So they've helped keep a lot of natural disasters and storms from hitting their area. So they look at them as almost kind of like a guardian angel type aspect. And then when they went out there on the boat, they had tried to look at this stuff from a scientific point of view, because I think that's probably the best way to do it. They took that little device and put it behind the boat while they're going there. What I thought was amazing was how it was picking up negative magnetism and stuff in the area.
Yeah.
And then when he sent it off to be researched, even the researcher was puzzled there. He's like, either that's from a ship, but he goes, there shouldn't be that kind of readings in the middle of the ocean, basically,
Right.
unless there's a large deposit of some sort of ore or whatever. So I thought that was interesting. And then, of course, the other part was when they did the research off Catalina Island, which is also another hotspot, by doing the diving and all that and looking for underground architecture and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Because that's kind of that's a well-known hotspot all down there through the Channel Islands.
Yeah. Chris, what did you think?
Yeah, Steezo pretty much covered all the bases. It was a good episode. I kind of liked 2 a little bit better. I like the Brazil story. I tend to buy it when it's a more documented case. You know what I mean? There was a lot of like stories in this one, but I don't know. The USS Omaha stuff at the beginning, talking about there were multiple crafts or whatever following them underwater and them not being able to track it. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, the Catalina Island cigar shaped thing. Let's see. At the end, I don't know how I feel about the end with the bright orb in the sky. It was kind of like just that produced TV bullshit kind of feel.
Just wait till episode 4, the beginning. I think you need to watch that, and it should, because I felt the same way. And then as you go into episode 4, it starts out with that, and you're like, "Oh wow, okay."
Yeah. The idea of the USO stuff, the bases and craft underwater, I really enjoy that idea and that topic, because I think there's a lot of weight to it. Because there's so much unexplored under the water that if they were hiding anywhere, that's where it would be.
And so even though I liked this episode the most out of the 3 I've watched, I do have a couple of issues, and you kind of brought up one of them. It felt kind of, and I said this in the last video, that it kind of had a reminiscence of like a Skinwalker Ranch documentary
Yeah.
series where they're doing all this testing, and when they were going over like doing the whole I forget what technology they were using. I don't know if it was radar.
It
But
was ROV,
Yeah,
some,
it's ROV. It was just
something like that.
ROV.
yeah, and like I didn't really like that scene. I didn't necessarily like the you know, I didn't like the idea of they mentioned how there was like a potential base that they thought was under the water there. Like that just felt too kind of out there and skeptical.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like there's anything to back up that there's some alien base, you know, there. Now, do I think that there are like instances where people have seen like docking of some sort? Yeah, I do think that happens. I just didn't feel like they backed up what they were talking about in this one specifically on that. And then, like you had said, the light, you know, at the end of the episode 3.
It's just so convenient, bro. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
that's
really? Like,
That's what I
you
thought
guys
too. Just
happen to
watch
be,
for it.
yeah,
To
just
hold me
happen to
like
be exploring
it
underwater,
it
and just
dude.
all of a sudden that you're recording, and an orb just happens to appear because they're mad that you're, looking around underwater. It's like, come on, bro. Like,
Well,
that kills the whole vibe of it.
and the funniest part is I said like word for word what you did in the last review is that it's very convenient that they just happen to see something in the sky like while they're
Yeah.
recording.
That's my biggest gripe of this show, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
George Knapp is cool. I like to think he's one of the more legitimate people in the community. But goddamn, just the produced TV episode
I
feel
know.
of it just
I know.
it
Well,
kills it, bro. It makes it. It's like you said, that Skinwalker Ranch or Ghost Hunter type of, like,
right.
just set up everything set up for a shot and type of
Which
thing.
and so this goes into what my biggest opinion about aliens and stuff is, or just UFOs, this whole topic. Uh docuseries and documentaries in general don't do this topic justice. But the irony is that that's what pays the people and the
Mhm.
journalists that do it, right?
Right.
So they're forced to make these things so that they can get attraction, get onto TV shows, make
Right.
some money. And then like even James Fox does it, right? But James
Right.
Fox to me is kind of the goat of all these
Dude,
journalists,
his
right?
documentaries and stuff blow this shit out of the water. Like, it's not
For
even
sure.
close. It's not
I
even
mean,
close.
I hate to give him credit, but Jeremy Corbell does too.
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Like, to
uh,
me, it's there's just the ways to do it to make it feel more
but do,
legitimate. You know what I mean?
you guys agree with me on that? That like it sucks that this is what pays the people that
Oh
we
yeah.
like to
No,
see,
yeah, they have
right?
to make money. They have to
Well,
make a
you
living.
Yeah,
I
gotta
get
think.
it.
You gotta think about it, like the fact that um, they're making these documentaries. We'll sit there and watch a 3 hour podcast on Sean Ryan where there's two guys talking about it
exactly,
and be sold and
exactly,
would be glued to the TV.
exactly.
90% of people will be gone after the checked out of the first 3 minutes. And even though, but when you watch a documentary and is there sometimes that's why they have reenactors in these things to make it more interesting. They'll reenact
Yeah,
the scene
Well,
because
but
they're trying to make it for normal people to watch it. You know what I mean?
more engaging. Yeah,
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I could, and this is really, I think, what separates the boys from the men. You
Mhm.
know, lack of a better word is we're here for the substance. We're not here for
right.
dramatizations.
Yeah,
We're
Oh
here
yeah,
for the substance, the content, and that's
absolutely.
right.
the biggest gripe I have is that it's all recycled, and there really hasn't been anything new up until this episode. And yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it feels like I'd said this to Stezo earlier. It feels like you're at a nice restaurant,
Mhm.
you know, an expensive restaurant. The experience is nice, but the food sucks.
Right.
That's
They bring you Big Macs and shit.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Um,
How many episodes are there?
there's
6.
6.
And each one's like 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think I personally believe that 4 and 5 are the best. Uh, and then 6 is more of kind of like a recap, but it doesn't really it kind of tells you like it's almost like an epilogue, like what's gonna go on in the future kind of deal.
Well,
Yeah.
and part of my gripe as well is this episode kicks off with the jellyfish, and he kind of
Oh,
presented
right.
it. He presented it like that jellyfish UFO phenomenon was like breaking news, but I covered this on this channel. I covered that
Dude,
story a
yeah,
year ago.
I remember that.
Like
Yeah.
almost
I
a
was
year
act
before.
Yeah, I was going through that and I saw a bunch of like on-screen chats from you, Chris. So it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
prior to you guys showing up on it, but I know you guys were both there. It's just funny, like, and then on it, like, it's no surprise if you guys watch this channel. Like, I can't stand listening to Jeremy Corbell. I think as a journalist, he does a good job bringing people forward,
Yeah.
but in no
Stay off the
way.
camera.
Yeah.
Stay off the goddamn
Yeah.
camera, bro. I knew he was gonna pop up somewhere. I fucking knew he was gonna
Yeah.
pop up somewhere. I knew it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he told George Knapp, he's like, "Hey, if you feature the jellyfish, I need to be on camera for that."
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Well, I got you the
He's-
latest video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
he's always
exactly.
in it. He's always
And
in
then
it.
also it was a little corny where it was actually at the end of last episode. But when they bring that guy from like who works at the CIA allegedly, and he's like, "You need to be very careful with this video." It was
What?
just so dramatic. Like,
Wait,
I'm like,
Christopher Mellon? You talking about Christopher Mellon?
was it Melon?
When they meet in the dog park, the dude with the gray hair?
Yeah.
No. I was talking about the guy where they meet
How about
at.
the guy? He's about the guy that goes along and like assists or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. I'm talking about
I
that
see.
guy because they meet at like they just happen to meet at some restaurant to go over this stuff, right? And then it's just again over dramatized.
Dude.
And yeah, I just felt like
There's no need for it.
complete
That
bullshit.
it totally kills the vibe because the first thing that people think of when they think of UFOs and all this shit is it's not. Oh shit! Did we lose him?
Keep going.
The first thing they think of is something not being legitimate. So when they get all the dramatized fake stuff in the show, it just adds to it and just completely kills the entire vibe.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Yeah. Like I said, I was not like I said, I'm with you guys on this. I powered through it. I watched all 6 episodes at once, so I had those same feelings, but I didn't have like a day to sit there and think about how that episode because I was already into the next one, but I got the same vibes when I was watching. I was like, "Oh, how convenient, They got a freaking orb out there and stuff like that." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, this totally looks like some sort of like
God, that was
scripted
the
show."
worst.
And
That
then
was
I
the
watched,
worst, man.
then I went and did episode 4, and you just have to watch. You're like, oh wow, like there's no way that that's convenient. And it kind of goes on. And then in episode 5, there's more stuff that happens that you're like, oh, how convenient. And then as it goes into episode 6, they kind of like roll into each other. That's
Okay.
as at the end of episode 5, you're like, what? And then episode 6, it rolls into, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense or whatever. But it's the same thing, But yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's not one of my favorite. I think I did like the Corbell one that came out, was it earlier this year, last year, the 3-parter. I thought that would, even though that was
the Bob Lazar one.
Yeah, I thought that was much better.
Well, his Bob Lazar story either way is very interesting. So
yeah.
Well, listen, guys, I think we'll wrap it up here for episode 3, and we will reconvene for episode 4. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by, and thank you, Chris and Steezo, for showing
later,
up.
guys.
Appreciate it. Later.